Hey, and welcome to Brown Dog Gadgets Friday Hangout because we're bored at the end of the week and thought we'd show off some of the cool things that we've had come in this week. So I'm here with my good guy.
Hello. Pete. Hi, I'm here too.
Hey, Pete. Now, and people may sometimes jump in on the split screen because I know Pete is often very shy.
It's true.
But he can pop in on split screen. But we're going to show off some of the cool things we've gotten in, some of the couple projects we've done as well this week around the office. And so if a live studio is set up, might as well do something with it at the end of the week. Right, Pete?
Correct.
All right, for all one person watching right now. Maybe we can get somebody else on here.
If we can make a difference for one person, it's all worth it.
It does mean a lot in the education world.
Mm-hmm.
Also because we didn't advertise this at all. But we figured we'd show off a couple of cool things we got in. Because we had some cool stuff that showed up in the mail this week. And a couple of cool projects that Pete has actually posted himself here. So we're going to switch to our wonderful overhead camera and go over a couple of the cool things we've gotten. So actually, Pete, why don't you go to the close-up camera?
Close-up
camera. So we've been waiting forever for some parts to show up from China because of all the COVID-19 craziness. But we've gotten some new crazy circuits components in. There we go. And we've got some, by popular request, some potentiometers and some Neopixel components that we've designed, because we haven't had the potentiometers designed for 3 years now, just never got them produced. But these are little 10,000 ohm potentiometers, a nice little blue knob on top that's really, really easy to adjust just with your fingers, no tools needed. Pete, you know a lot about these little potentiometers. Anything to add with just standard pots?
No, they work great. Yeah, I've already used them for a crazy circuits project, and they were wonderful.
I mean, they're really handy, especially if you're using servos or Neopixels, for instance. You can just easy control of stuff, sound effects.
Sound effects, yes.
Volume knobs.
Yeah.
And Neopixels, of course, are the individually addressable LEDs. These are I think the medium-sized ones now, not the regular-sized ones. I think there's actually a step smaller. These are like 3.5 by 4, because they fit between the Lego studs on here.
Yep.
But yeah, there's a smaller version out there too. I've seen as well. But these work pretty well. We've used some prototypes of these to do some crazy things. We actually built I would have brought it up. I don't know where it is. We built a 6x6 matrix on a Lego base plate with these that did some just basic lighting effects using our maker tape to hook them all together as proof of concept. Took that to a teaching conference last November. And these literally just showed up in the mail a couple days ago. So these are pretty handy and these are pretty awesome. And I'll show you a project I have made up that uses both of these. We'll switch to the overhead view here. This is something I made up just for testing a while back, with some prototype parts. That's why they're purple, from Osh Park. Hashtag Osh Park. This episode is not sponsored by Osh Park, although Osh, if you like us, please sponsor us by buying us, a malt or a sundae. There's a Culver's nearby. But we just hooked up 6 of these here, little tiny strips of tape. And these spots over here were designed, these empty spots, for potentiometers. But I sent those off to somebody because we only had a few prototype potentiometers, but these guys fit right in here. And this is just some basic demo code as a proof of concept ages ago to see how things would hook together. And this is just running some simple demo code. I think it might be the Adafruit Neopixel demo code, or maybe the Fast LED. I can't recall. But one of the sets of codes I threw on here, you could control the speed which LEDs were going back and forth, the color, and the brightness. So it's kind of fun to just twist a knob, something would change. And the great thing about Neopixels is you can hook pretty much infinite numbers on. Is there a max Neopixel?
Well, it depends on your power, because the more you put it together, you'll need more amperage.
Just say for signal, is there a max signal number? Like say you have
It's
power
high.
every 200 or so.
It's higher than anyone is going to hit using our stuff, I think.
Oh, so yeah. As I always tell people, by the time you hit the max amperage concerns for the conductive tape, you probably shouldn't be using conductive tape anyway. We did it too. That's a cool video, which you could link right here if we were actually on top of things, but we're not. But we actually have a video where we stress test the conductive tape to see how much amperage it can handle. Spoiler alert: it's more than you expect, but yet less than you expect. No, it works. I think got like up to 3.5 amps briefly on our thicker tape before it gets crazy hot after about 2 amps.
Any flames?
If you do things just right by having your alligator clips like within a ½ inch of each other, and you get like a really good piece of tape where there's no imperfections, it'll like flame up. But you have to have like the really right conditions with a large power supply next door.
All right.
And it's a funny thing about the tape is if it's longer, it will like short out, like fuse out. It'll.
That's a safety feature.
It is a safety
Right,
feature,
right.
especially the 1/8 inch. It'll happen, but that's the same thing you run into with all sorts of like conductive fabrics. I know conductive thread always has a major issue with amperage over distance. And copper foil is awesome for conducting, but it sucks to use as a material. But anyway, we've got these in hand now, and we'll put them up on the website here as soon as I can get to the QuickBooks software and put them up. The website, but you'll have these up on the website shortly to use, and we're throwing these into some of our bigger kits starting this summer. Once we do a little more spreadsheeting on that. But no, they're handy. I mean, Pete, you have a couple really good sets of code for doing like sound effects with potentiometers. Right?
Oh, well, yeah, and I built the step sequencer as well, so
Oh.
that uses a lot of them.
That's a really good, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of really cool things to do with the potentiometer. And I like the servo controlling stuff because it's really fun to make like a little arm or just fun things with Legos with the servo attached. Which brings me to the second thing, the second new thing that's here off to the side to show off as well. So I'm going to turn this off and get it away from here. Need a second table just for things on the side. So we've got these really awesome Lego compatible servos around. And actually, let's switch to the close-up cam.
Close-up cam. Where to go? Hold on. Close-up cam.
There we go. So we've got these. We've had actually 2 versions of these for a while now. We just got our 3rd version in from another company. And so these are really nice because they can fit, Lego stuff in general, be it Lego Technic. You've got male studs and female studs on the bottom. You can find these a lot of places online, but we just got the 360-degree version, which is this color. Pete, what color is that, would you say?
It appears to be orange.
Orange. Yay, I'm a little colorblind. But we also have the standard, like it's the 270 servo, and this is just a standard motor. It's just a dumb 2-pin motor. But continuous rotation is really cool because we can do some really cool robotics with Legos with this because of how easy it is to fit into Lego components. So let's go back to that overhead.
Overhead.
Yay, thanks, Pete. So this is just a simple chassis I put together for some product photography the other day. And it's really easy just to use a couple of pins and attach to this simple frame. And Pete, you made I should have brought that out.
Robot.
Yeah, Pete actually made a robot, which we posted some things
It's in the
last
other
week
room.
on Instagram and Twitter because... Yeah, but it's 2 of these guys with one of our robotics board, which is that programming board we were using before. And just a couple wheels, and that was it.
Go get it if you want.
Do you want to go get it?
I'll go get it. You
It's
keep
good.
talking.
Don't take the microphone
I'll
with you there. But these are just really handy to have, and like using this with the potentiometer, especially the 270, which is really, really handy because it'll take anything with a Lego axle connector, including wheels if you have some small wheels, or it can build out from there. Now these are just nice and sturdy. Not only wishes that they had metal gears, but they're nylon gear, and they're pretty cheap at, I think $5 each on our website right now. But they're all that much. They're just really handy. And for example, just got a little Lego axle piece here. This is from a demo I made up a little bit ago, but just it'll stick on there. Oh, there we go. Here's Pete's robot. So Pete made this. His little power bank on there, robotics board. This is currently what it does.
See, if you flip it over, you can see how the servos are on there too.
Yep, and he did a little bit more engineering on his. He didn't use an axle. He just used some different. Actually, he did use some long axles, not the frame, and some different pieces. There's some small. I think these are pulleys with a rubber wheel on the top side. I'm not super well versed in what my Lego names are for all the little specialized Technic parts. And even on the backside for the 3rd point of contact, just used some 2x2 studs. We have some ball bearings, Lego ball bearings around too. We might have to use for something in the future. But that's one of our robotics boards up top with the pin headers on there, which has got a bunch more of those in recently too. Yay! And a small little power bank off Amazon, probably.
I just found it at home when I was sheltering at home. That's what I had.
Guess we could have used 4 AA's to get it going too.
Yeah.
As long as it gets me that 4.5 to 5 volts for Arduino. But yeah, I mean, making something like this is simple. I mean, when we did our crazy circuit stuff ages and ages and ages ago, we had made like a nice tank with tank treads. It was just really horribly over-engineered. We can do a much better version now with these. We had some laser cut adapters we used to put with standard like Metal Gear servos, little 9G sized ones. Yeah, this is a much better approach for doing Lego based stuff with a 360 servo. And this is just running some very simple turn code. Need a friend on a desk, put some googly eyes on this, and you're good to go for a while. But they're really, really darned handy, and they're pretty well made, and it's moving things around without a problem here, and this is not a great point of contact there. Yeah, those little Lego ball bearings. I'll have to do something with this frame at some point and make a tank. There we go. Make a tank at some point, because that would be... They're really fun to watch it go around and scare our office dog, who is here with us as well. So that's the new stuff we've gotten in this week for parts and supplies. Just like to really show off these Lego servos because they're really cool. If you're doing anything, even without our Lego-based circuitry things, like any Arduino, any MicroBit, any Raspberry Pi projects. I mean, this will run off, I think, 3 volts up to 5 volts of power. So 3 volts is MicroBit, 3.3. So you could totally run this off a MicroBit as well. And we're just 5 volts off of this Arduino in our robotics board here. But yeah, anything else to add about like these fun little servos, Pete? You've used them a bit lately.
They're great. Once you kind of play with them, you figure out the best way to attach them depending on the angle you want, and you go from there.
And you're making that candy dispenser right now as a project, the Lego candy dispenser, which is great during a pandemic to constantly be touching candy in the office amongst everybody.
Plus, you're stuck at home and you got all this candy. You got to distribute it slowly. You can't just eat the whole thing. Did you break my robot? I undid the sticky tape as opposed to just unplugging it. My bad. It's all right.
There we go. Now we can stop servoing around. We're going to put this to the side now.
All right.
That was that cool thing. Actually, I'm going to show off one more thing by Pete as well. Pete posted an Instructable, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, I think so.
2 weeks ago, which was for doing a printed circuit board was the project. So, I mean, paper. But he did his on some slightly frosted acrylic, which is our 1/8" maker tape. And Pete, why don't you tell us what parts you used here? Because this is pretty cool.
Yeah, so there's this, our jumbo LED, the 10 millimeter. I put 2 CR2032 batteries on there. Used a little paper switch, and then the center is actually there's a crazy circuit thing, the blink fade board, correct? So that's actually just a AT tiny chip that's programmed the same as our board that I pulled out and put into a little socket, and then it's all with maker tape.
Yeah, I see you took the pins on the bottom of here and just bent them outward off of some female headers. Just to make it a little easier. Yeah,
just so we could. I found that way you're not bending up the chip pins, which can break off, and it was easier to get the tape sort of connected to it. So.
There we go. Yeah, I mean it's a. AT1085 chips are great. They're like 35 cents each.
They're cheap, yeah.
We have an Arduino around already. You can totally program it from an Arduino to some jumper cables to a breadboard, and they're handy for things. So they'll run out 3 volts, won't they?
Yeah, like up from 3 to I think 7, but it's within there. That's why I put 2 batteries together.
Yeah, you got 6 volts off of coin cells, and you can do lots of fun little projects. I mean, I've seen people make fun throwies because they're so cheap. Coin cell battery, LED, programmed AT Tiny. I've seen someone do a nice Firefly approach with those on Instructables, where it was a little light detecting resistor, and then just a super small throbbing LED. You could put up high somewhere inside of a paper craft. I mean, we use surface mount one of these on our blink fade board for blinking and fading effects are pre-programmed for
same
Lego
code.
projects. Yeah,
same code. Yeah,
that Pete wrote.
Pete
wrote that code a couple of years ago.
We borrowed it, a lot of it, and we modified it for what we needed.
True, and that's also, as with all of our Crazy Circuits things, they're open source and on the internet. But anyway, this is on Instructables, and soon to be, I think, we need to do a write-up on our own website for this, too, I think at some point.
We'll go down there, too.
It's easy. I mean, printed on a piece of paper or acrylic or glass. I mean, some people are doing some cool, glass circuitry on Hackaday as well.
Yeah.
With copper foil, where they're, taking a cameo silhouette and cutting out a really fun design and then soldering things to there. That's a lot of work. Fine copper foil sheets, peeling things off. That's with tweezers. That's a lot of really fine motor skills, and I don't have the.
I like tape.
That's why it's easy. Tape. But this is a fun. I mean, I've been doing stuff like this on Windows for a while now with our maker tape, and this would have been good for a classroom setting. Putting a circuit on a window with just LEDs. Or a couple different paper switches kids can interact with, and because this stuff will peel right back off when you're done without a problem, just not destroying your window like that horrible copper foil will. I know because there's probably still some on my window.
A lot of residue on that stuff.
I couldn't get it off my window in my classroom 9 years ago. And yeah, anyway, so this is a Pete's cool project printed circuit board. It's on Structables and it's going to be on our own website. But yeah, just LEDs and whatnot using our maker tape, which is cool stuff. So that's pretty awesome. Oh, and speaking of cool things you can do with maker tape, Pete, why don't you show off that awesome PCB we're working on?
Whoa!
So move this way up to the side.
Should I put it on?
Just drop it on
face right here.
So this is. Yay!
Act like you're holding it.
Act like I'm.
Not actual size.
Not actual size. Right. This is a PCB we're working on for MicroBit right now. It's for our Crazy Circuit system. We had a lot of requests to use MicroBit with our system, and we've actually had a prototype since the beginning 3 years ago that'll work with our Crazy Circuit stuff, but we just never really kind of took it all the way. Just kind of, it was a proof of concept. Like, could it work? What kind of pitfalls? What might want to add? It was just, we'll throw it on the board with our setup. And so we've been kicking around this idea for a while, and a lot of requests, especially from Canada and the UK, and now that the MicroBit's becoming kind of big here in the US. And so on this board, we've got a couple extra features we threw on here. It's Lego compatible, sewing compatible, like all of our Crazy Circuit stuff. Just like that robotics board. And I'm going to bring this over from before. Put it to the side. There we go. Much like this robotics board, we've got our Lego holes around the outside. We've got a spot for the MicroBit to plug into. And we've also put some pin headers on there to plug in servos, like the ones we just showed, or sensors or whatnot. Just makes it really easy. Just to make sure we have 3-volt compatible sensors and outputs. Otherwise, they won't work. All those distance sensors I know don't like being on 3 volts.
Need more volts.
Yeah. And we move up the board here, going up the board a little bit. We also have a couple different battery inputs, pin header, screw terminal. So we want to run things off a battery pack. We can also totally just run power directly via alligator clips to the 3.3 volt and ground, the Lego holes on here. And at the very, very, very top, pin 16 there, we're throwing in a relay. That's something we kind of like. People have frequently talked about that, and we have a little space on the board anyway. So we're like, hey, we'll throw a relay on there so you can plug in regular motors and whatnot and control with a micro:bit. And if you're a teacher in a classroom, you probably have some random motors or other electronic parts around. Why not? Motor with a fan.
12 volt you could run on that, I assume. Would be okay, right?
Actually, I think yeah. I think
fun.
you can do that. We haven't tested it out of the way, but the data sheet on that, you just run power in from using an external power source with that. So we wire up a battery pack and your thing, and I think it can be up 12 or 16 volts. I totally forget on the data sheet on that, but you can run a 12 volt item on there. I mean, relays are awesome that way. You can just control much bigger things. So you have a bigger project. I don't know. Relays are fun. So that's something we're working on. We're just ordering some Oshpark. Thanks, Oshpark. Purple circuit boards to test out, and then hopefully production on that later. So we have a classroom set end of the year. So that'd be kind of fun. So and one last thing before that's it. Basically, anything else we want to talk about this week, Pete?
No, that looks pretty cool. We'll go back to you. Boop. Hold on.
No.
We got it.
I'm now a circuit board.
You're back.
Oh, that's circuit.
You've always wanted to be a circuit board.
I've always I'd be very much more useful than I am now. Last thing before we go, we actually got around and made some more sampler packs. These are something from a trade show that we had made up. We only usually sell these at trade shows for teachers, but we've been selling a lot of these leftovers from the trade shows we can't go to anymore. Thanks, Corona. Should have a Corona with Corona. Anyway, we had a lot of these leftovers, so we've been selling these to teachers. We ran out, people kept asking for them, so they're back up. It's a little bit of everything we do. Let's see here. It's a Bristlebot kit, a solar cockroach kit, some name badges, both types of our 1/8 inch and 1/4 inch maker tape, conductive thread, LEDs, binder clips, a couple of our Crazy Circuits components. So you can do conductive sewing or Lego things. So a little bit of everything for $25. And this is up on our website again. Basically in every category, it's the first thing that pops up because we have another batch of them up. But they're nice. You can do different activities galore with them. You can spend a whole day making tons of different projects. And we have lesson plans that go with all of these as well. We have 5 different lessons to go with just the conductive tape papercraft stuff that Andy, our curriculum writer, made up. So there's a wide range of things. We spent a whole week doing nothing but simple circuits on paper with what's in here, and then not to mention other things in there. If you really want to go crazy, use that conductive thread to make a wearable. But that takes way too much work. I just put conductive tape on it.
Everyone's got time right now.
It's true. If you have like a needle and some cruddy felt or a jacket you want to make look cool, or if it's wintertime, we could have people take the conductive thread, put on their gloves, so you can have like a conductive point for touching your phone. And
well, we're in Wisconsin. It's still winter pretty much.
Snowing the other day. We're up to 3 people watching us recently. That was good to see.
And they can leave comments, right?
Oh, I don't know. Nobody cares. I mean, we're just here because it's Friday and I don't want to do paperwork.
Friday.
Exactly. But no, these are back up in stock. We have a limited 25 of these up on the website. So if anybody wants them, I know we sold 3 or 4 today. Just throwing them up without even advertising. So these are up on the website. Yay! Yeah. Along with these guys and soon to be the Neopixels and potentiometer parts here. And maybe tonight I'll throw them up this evening. But ready to go because we have 2,500 of each, and they're nice. And so, any questions, let us know. Email us. We're doing some live streaming next week. We're actually going to be bringing in some live streaming guests.
Nice.
Yay! You actually have an applause sound effect there we could hit. You should hit the applause sound effect. Yay! What has our life become? We've been trapped inside too long.
Just want to go home.
Yeah, you and me both. We're going to bring in Matthew from Squishy Circuits is going to come and hang out with us, do some conductive Play-Doh stuff. We do a kit with him and then use his dough in a couple of our big classroom sets. And then Natasha from Techno Chic, who does some really cool projects for us every now and then. When things look really nice, Natasha made them. When they look really, really arts and crafts nice, it was Natasha. The Stranger Things t-shirt that all lit up and said Merry Christmas on it with tons of Neopixels, Natasha. Yeah. Because it looks really nice and difficult to make. That's Natasha. She'll be coming in, I think, next week or the week after doing some things. And with any luck, next week we're going to be doing a live stream with makershed.com and MakerCamp doing an activity to be determined. But that'd be a fun thing to do as well. We're just reaching out to other maker companies, and Adafruit, call us. Adafruit. They buy our BristleBots. They're good. We should call into their show. They get more than 3 viewers. 4 viewers. Hey.
4 up to 4. I mean,
thanks. I think our spouses count.
Someone may have clicked it on mistake.
Yeah, they're that bored.
Hi, Amy.
Hey, Amy, if you're watching. But let us know. We're around, still shipping things out, and otherwise buying stuff on Amazon. Sampler packs only on our website because we just make a few up when we have a little bit of time. But we're putting parts in and stuff. I know a lot of schools are still purchasing things. But we're going to be doing some more live streaming, collaborative stuff. So hopefully people can have some fun. People can check things out. And we can show off some fun activities and projects. And people can ask questions. But we're going to try to do a lot of collaborative stuff because we have AV equipment and a green screen and a lot of free time at the office, or one person can be here and doing it all. So anything else to add, Pete?
Thank you all for watching this week. We'll do better next week.
For the first week of live streaming, we managed to do pretty well with 5 people watching.
That's good.
I think there's 1 by default too.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop talking. It's been going on way too long. But
hey,
thanks everybody for watching.
Yeah, thank you.
Smash that like and subscribe button.
All right, should we finish?
We should finish. All right.
Okay.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Finish and bright.